Hi, good morning, everyone. Okay. Okay, so let me go back there. So today I'm going to be talking about how we've been serving the VA mission through digital transformation, automation, and customer service. Just a little bit about myself. Again, my name is Anna Rigney Phillips. I am the chief of our financial customer support area. I have been in customer service in some form for the last 17 years, private sector the last 7 with VA. And today I want to focus on a lot of strategy. So you'll see some of my background has been working in strategic planning and implementation. I am a certified balanced scorecard professional, and strategy has kind of driven us to making some strong decisions. So excited to share that with you. But again, customer service is my passion. There's a lot of other skills that I have, but it's always been around customer service. So a little bit about the organization. We actually are the Financial Services Center. We are a franchise fund. And what that means is we do not receive appropriations. So we bill fee for service. And so we operate more like a business. And our customers are very important to us, and how they feel about how we're doing is very important. We have multiple product lines within the Financial Services Center: travel, commercial invoice processing, claims processing, payroll. As you have heard, there's been a pretty significant transformation happening at VA. And so FSC is often looked at to solve some of those problems and take away some of those functions that maybe don't belong in our hospitals, so that our hospitals can focus more on patient care and better outcomes for our veterans. And so something to keep in mind, our organization is really not very veteran focused. However, we provide the support that the other areas of VA need to be successful for our veterans. Okay. So again, the topic today is digital transformation, automation, and customer service. And all of that really relies on a sound strategy. So if you don't have a sound strategy, you're going to struggle in some of these areas. So we're going to talk about strategy up front, and then I'll move into customer service, the technology component, automation, and then digital transformation. So strategy, it all starts here, and this is our strategy. We've embarked on a 5-year strategy. When we started our strategy, there was not the strategy from Big VA yet. So we were a little cautious in the plan that we were laying out, realizing that things might have to shift a little bit, but we felt very comfortable that we were on the right path. And I'm not sure how well you can see the map, but I want to highlight the 4 perspectives that we're focused on. People and technology, that's at the bottom. And I would say it's your foundation. So your people are very important for you to be successful. And the technology goes hand in hand, because that's a tool for your people that they need to do their jobs every day. And so we have to make sure that we're supporting that group of individuals. And then processes. We have to look at our processes and make sure, do we have the right processes? Are they focused on the right things, so that we can achieve our financial outcomes and our customer outcomes? Okay, so we have a specific methodology we're using for our strategy. There are a few different ones out there, but these were the things that we felt were most important. And we have objectives in each of those perspectives that, again, are all resulting in us achieving what we are looking to achieve. We want to maximize value for our customers and ultimately the veterans. Okay, so there's 2 primary themes with this strategy: customer focus and exceeding expectations. And we've heard a lot about that today already. So another thing we heard about is this Forrester's Federal CX, Customer Experience Index report. I'm starting with customer service because while digital technology and transformation, those are important, we're hearing a lot about those, fundamentally, it's driven by customer demand, right? So what is your customer wanting? What are you trying to deliver to your customer? And what are their expectations around their experience? And we tend to struggle with that in the federal space. When I left private sector and I came to VA, Customer service maybe wasn't as important as I thought it should be. And some of the feedback I got is, well, in private sector, customers can leave. And it's the government, and they can't really do that here. So how are you going to prove that it's worth the investment on customers? And we can't think that way anymore. And we're hearing that a lot. There's a lot of focus on improving customer service. And it's kind of the wrong mentality, right? And we've gotten ourselves in trouble because we're focused on that. And the other thing I would say is, if you look at some of the feedback that came out of it, is we failed to empower our employees to perfect their customer interactions. And the focus isn't really on the customer. And technology is not going to solve the problem. So if we think about what are our customers looking for, what are their expectations, then I bet we're going to make the right technology decisions and not waste money on technology that doesn't really solve the problem that we were looking to solve. Again, it goes back to the strategy. What are you trying to accomplish? And then make decisions around what the end game is. Okay. So customer service, delivering the value, starts with our people. Another interesting thing that I found out when I came to VA is that there is no job series for customer service. I looked around VA to see, okay, we have all these different call centers, all these people doing customer service. What's their job? Well, their job depends on what area they're in. So it could be a financial accounting tech. In VBA, it's somebody that's a benefits specialist. And when you look at those job descriptions, a lot of times I was seeing that customer service was kind of buried. It wasn't really at the forefront. And that's a problem. We focus more on task-oriented things that somebody's doing and not on the customer that they're serving. And so we have to modify our job descriptions and make sure that they really are truly customer-focused. The other thing that I noticed was training. Training was a big problem. So it was primarily focused on kind of operational, again, tasks. Do this, do that. We had SOPs for the call center. Well, that didn't really make sense to me because somebody in the call center is getting a variety of questions, and it's not really a process. It's more of getting down into an issue and figuring it out. So we had to change that a little bit. We also had to set expectations around customer service delivery. So we weren't training our customer service team on how to create a positive interaction with the customer. We were training on how to do this task-oriented kind of job. And so we really now have to shift that gear and focus more on, what is the experience we're trying to get to, and how do you deliver a good customer experience. And the other thing is knowledge. So there were specific people in the call center that knew everything. So if I had a question, that's who you went to. And again, that's a problem. The knowledge isn't shared. And so somebody gets a call, they don't know what to do with it. They're IMing their neighbor who's busy on a phone call. And that was another problem we had to solve. So starting to, instead of a person asks a question, we answer that question. That other person next to them probably needs the answer too. So taking that information and sharing it with everybody, and then creating a knowledge base and building on that is shared across the organization. Okay. So the right mix of people, skills and competencies, providing them the tools they need to be successful. Again, that's the knowledge base, documenting processes, documenting information for them, and delivering value. Our people can identify areas where our processes are broken if we give them the tools they need and let them give us that information. So we have to communicate and let them give us that information so that we can make things better. We have to gain operational efficiencies, and our people, again, that base layer in our strategy are the ones that are going to help us get there. So technology's great, it is. But if you think that getting technology is going to solve your problem, it's not, okay? It's a tool for your people. And what we've learned as we've embarked on implementing PEGA across FSC is that we have to develop our partnership between IT and the business. And I'm on the operations side, but we have a great working relationship with our IT, and that relationship is growing, and it has to. It's not the way it used to be, where I have a problem and I just tell IT to fix it for me. That partnership is really important. We also have to really understand what is the problem we're trying to solve, okay, and define that problem. and then organize our processes around evaluating technology that solves that problem, and then implementing the technology in a way that solves the problem. And we also have to map our decisions to legislative mandates or requirements and link that with our strategy. So making sure that we're not making arbitrary decisions in moving forward with technology, because we have this problem, we have to fix it really quick. It's not a quick fix. Okay. So a little bit about some of the solutions, the solutions we're using, Pega technology. So invoice payment processing system, I won't steal Jeremy's thunder. There will be a demo later of that application. It is the second largest invoice payment processing system in the federal government. 1.4 million annual invoices come through that application at $14 billion a year. So just a quick highlight of that customer layer. We have a lot of layers of customers with the Financial Services Center. So primarily, our customers are the VA facilities that we're supporting to help them with the certification process. But we also have all of the external providers and vendors that are calling to get those payments. So lots of busy call center calls and questions coming in, supporting the internal facilities with the technology, and then also making sure that our vendors and providers get paid. We've been in production since 2014, and this was an upgrade from a different system. And it supports, again, centralized invoice processing. So all of the invoices for commercial payments come into FSC for the Veterans Health Administration and the national cemeteries. So lots of invoices coming in, and electronic. So that was a really exciting shift that happened, where instead of getting a ton of paper invoices, doing the scanning, the OCR we heard about a little earlier, now we have these electronic invoices coming in. We have automated processes and workflows that get those invoices where they need to be so the stations can take action, and then we can make sure that we're meeting the Prompt Payment Act in terms of paying our vendors for the goods and services that they're delivering to us. And at the end of the day, we always have to understand, again, if we're focused on the veteran, what's our part in that process to make sure that the veteran is getting what they need? And our part is making sure invoices get paid timely, so that those vendors can continue providing those goods and services to VA. One of the other things that was really important to us at FSC was reuse, and not starting from scratch all the time and integrating technology together. So IPPS was on its path to getting into production, and we did not have a CRM tool. So in the call center, we had folks that just had notebooks, pen and paper, taking down customer information, answering their questions, and we had a single tool that we would use to get the back office work routed. So if a certain call came in and maybe we needed to set up a bill of collection, we had an application to do that. And also our customers, the external providers and vendors, have a self-service portal that gives them report capability. But again, there was no CRM. And every so often we would get a call in the call center and somebody would escalate and say, you know, I know that you can see my last time I called. And I would think, no, I can't. I have no history of the last time you called, except for our call queue. So we did have ACD. I could run a report and see a number, and that was it. No data, nothing. And earlier I talked about the value of getting information from your staff that helps you drive process improvements. And we really just didn't have that. If I got information, there was nothing to support it. So it's not like I could go to my leadership team and say, hey, something's broken, we need to fix it. I didn't really have a lot of data to support it. So that was a challenge. So we embarked on this idea of we're going to implement a customer relationship management technology. And we also, by the way, want to consolidate help desks. Because at FSC, I mentioned earlier, we have all these services, these product lines, and each team has their own little customer service team. So doing their own thing, their own way, not consistent. So in the beginning, we got a little bit of pushback because where's the return on the investment? Customer service, is it really that important? Again, it's the government. Where are our customers going to go? So little by little, we kind of broke through and got buy-in to start small. And And the thing I'll say about starting small is it's the best decision that we made, because you have to think about your staff. They hadn't used technology. There was no responsibility on their part to document customer information. So now moving them into, oh, you're gonna use CRM now, and you're gonna document everything, that's more time consuming for them. It was a little scary. So we couldn't go full blown into this really technical system with all these cool functionality, because it's gonna be a little scary for people that weren't used to that. So when it came to the customer service implementation, we decided first we're gonna start with just a base structure, out of the box, and ease into it. We had to identify common needs across the organization. We wanted to make sure it was scalable and adaptable, because we knew we were gonna go into this consolidated help desk organization. And we wanted to integrate the front office and the back office and self-service, okay? So a lot that we were looking to do. So digital transformation. That's a buzzword, and it was a little nerve-wracking for me to talk about digital transformation, because frankly, we're not there yet. We're still kind of building up from the bottom. We had nothing, and incrementally, we're adding more and more functionality. We're integrating technologies, we're getting data, and the data is helping us make decisions. And what I would say is you still need a strategy to set up your framework for success. So avoid the pitfalls of technology. Don't just jump out and say, oh, we need to do this really cool thing, and then we're going to integrate. You're not ready yet. You have to kind of take those baby steps. And identify where are the gaps. So what are your customers looking for? And then how can you give them what they're looking for? But make sure that you don't rush to it and then end up with a bad customer experience. Okay, and understand your capacity. Are we able to jump in and do something right now? And that's something that we're constantly asking ourselves is, okay, are we ready? What do we need to get in place before we do this? And then again, putting your customer up front and center. So understand their needs, their desires, how do they want to reach us, and then delivering that seamless experience. Okay. So that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for your time. And if there's any questions, I'll be around the rest of the day.